Hey man, I need your help with something. What are you doing? Put the bat down. It's me. Listen, I've been having some, let's say, emotional outbursts for a little while now.
Listen to me. I was sitting on that toilet for 40 minutes before somebody brought me a new roll. If you cannot replace the roll when it gets low, then you are going to have to shit outside.
And don't ever let my parents find out I said this, but I feel like it's because of the video games. No, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Now, I tried to fix this. I just played Dark Souls. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should watch that video. And of course, everybody knows that Dark Souls is a very frustrating game, so I decided that the next game I was going to play was going to be something easier, more relaxing, something that I wanted to play for a very long time. Have you ever heard of the game Risk of Rain 2? That's the nice, relaxing game I decided I was going to play to chill a little bit after playing Dark Souls. Tell me, do I sound relaxed to you? Why am I getting my ass handed to me by the Liberty Bell? So now I feel like my cortisol levels are through the roof and I need something to calm me down. And because play too many video games didn't cover it for my insurance to pawn me some Valium, I had a brilliant idea. I'm just going to attain Nirvana. I'm trying to be like this guy, for real. Except not this guy, because he sucks. Now I'm sure you're asking, Direwire, why did you break into my house? Well, maybe if you weren't using both of your headphones, you would have heard me banging on your door for 5 minutes and I wouldn't have had to break your window. Also, you're coming with me. And don't bother trying to make excuses. I know you're not busy right now. I've got your schedule memorized, so let's go. We've got a yoga lesson in Actually, I don't know how long we have. I'm not wearing a watch because I don't have hands. Risk of Rain 2 is your pretty standard roguelike. Every time you start a run, you start afresh, frolicking through the grass with a childlike innocence, slaughtering anything that moves with a joyous smile on your face, and you end the run with enough firepower to take down a small nation. Sorry, what was that about Geneva? I couldn't hear you over the sound of my machine gun. Now, games in this genre have to be careful about replayability. Every time you die, you need to start a new run, and if the runs are exactly the same, it gets boring really fast. This game does not have that issue, and it's because the developers have packed as much variety as they possibly could into every crevice this game has. Nothing in this crevice. What's the plural of crevice anyway? Crevices? Crevici? Crevisodes? Crevisodes, no. There are so many characters you can choose from, each with different strengths and weaknesses, and more importantly, different abilities. But that doesn't even begin to cover how different every run can be. More than even the character you choose, every run is dictated by the items you get during each level. Items work pretty simply. Each time you get an item, it makes your character stronger. Some items affect your damage, like crit glasses and crowbars, some give you on-hit effects like the ukulele in the RPG, and some of them are steak. The gameplay loop is pretty simple, which is to be expected. It is a roguelike. When you start your run, you start weak, nubile, and with a deep, intense thirst that can only be quenched by the rich ichor of beetle blood. Killing things gets you money, and money is used to open chests, which have items. Items have different rarities, so you'll see common more often than rares, and rares more often than legendaries. Adding even more to the variety are the level designs. There are 6 levels in a run, and there are a couple of different maps that you can land on for each level. Also, little pro gamer tip, 'cause I'm a gamer. Yeah. On level 4, there's always a guaranteed legendary item. Depending on the map, it'll either be in a chest that's always in the same place, in a chest that's going to be in one of 6 areas, or you might have to fight the overzealous giant floating eyeball that wants you to view the pearly gates before he sends you there permanently. I've noticed during this fight that he's not taking very much damage. Did he just heal back all of... Oh, no, that's a shield. Okay! Each level has unique monsters you've got to fight, ranging from beetles, bigger beetles, floating jellyfish, bigger floating jellyfish, lizards, bigger lizards, your grandparents.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa!
That's too damn bad!
The enemies are weird, okay? Just moving on. You traverse through each zone by slapping a teleporter, fighting a boss, killing the boss, and charging the teleporter before leaving. The run ends when you die, when you beat the final boss, or if you can't seem to wash off all that beetle blood on your hands, you can end it all yourself. Oh shit, no, I didn't do it in my browser history. No. Oh shoot, I forgot my yoga stuff in the back of your car. Could you grab it for me? What? No, I don't want to use the communal stuff. I want mine, okay? If I'm going to experience Nirvana, I need my stuff. My stuff. Thank you. Oh, while you're back there, can you check to see if you're subscribed? I don't know how to continue this bit. Like the video. Like the video. Like it. Like it. Do it now. You know, I really hope that somebody gets at least the tiniest crumb of joy from all the suffering that I've just put myself through. I still remember my first run. I was so naive, so ready for a nice, relaxing game. I was so gleeful. I didn't know the stress that was going to come my way. I didn't know I was going to die before reaching the second level. Well, never got my ass beat by a jellyfish before. Still, it's important to keep a good attitude even if it stings a bit. It was around this time that I realized this game is hard. My issue is when I see something hard, I just wanted even more pause, not like that. On the bright side, I got to play Commando a lot, and he is definitively my favorite. There is no other character I enjoy playing more. Definitely. Commando is one of the first two characters that you have unlocked in the game. He's well-rounded and his kit is pretty simple, but just because he's easy to pick up doesn't mean he can't be a monster late game. Oh, sorry. I'll be quiet. Commando plays best around his insane attack speed, and this is best utilized with on-hit items. On-hit items in Risk of Rain are exactly like they sound. When you shoot your gun, an ability will activate when the bullet hits. You've got some standard on-hit stuff like bleed daggers that apply a bleed, or leech seeds which give you a bit of lifesteal, but you've got some weird ones too, like a ukulele that shoots lightning at surrounding enemies, and a sentient meat hook. Sentient meat hook, that's what I call my dick. If you can get a bunch of these on-hit items and a bit of extra attack speed, things kinda just start to disappear.
He immediately just opened his portal and left. That wasn't even a fight. He saw me and just said no.
The other character that you start with is Huntress. I don't like Huntress. She's got the health bar of a 97-year-old woman who contracted polio when she was a child and has about the same damage too. Technically, she's supposed to be a glass cannon style character with tons of mobility, but I don't think she quite fits the bill because she has the lowest starting damage in the game. Don't get me wrong, she can still be a terrifying character just like anyone else. I just never really figured her out. Oh, yeah, sorry. Hey, come closer. Once I finally managed to clear 3 floors without dying, I unlocked Bandit, played him once, looked at Commando, and...
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Bandit is so much fun, I would even say he is definitively my favorite. There is no other character that I enjoy playing more than Bandit. Definitely. Bandit's kit is similar, but quite different to Commando's. Instead of a fast-shooting pair of handguns, you have a shotgun. What's great about the shotgun is you can shoot all 4 of its cartridges as fast as you can click. You just have to wait for it to reload after. He's also got a knife, but the shotgun is way cooler. You know that one scene in The Dark Knight where the Joker was all like, oh, knives are better than guns, guns are too quick? I don't get it, because like, knives you gotta get up close and like personal, but you know, a shotgun can turn a lizard into a wuzzard in one shot. He also has one of the best mobility skills in the game, in my humble opinion. Commando's movement ability is a simple roll. Nothing too fancy, but it lets you move a little bit faster. Bandit's movement ability turns you invisible and gives you a move speed boost and does damage on entry and exit of invisibility and stun things around you on entry and exit. This pairs super well with his passive ability Backstab. Backstab's ability is simple. Anytime you hit an enemy from the back, your attack critically strikes. This is so busted. As a roguelike, all of your runs are random. This means sometimes you're going to get the short end of the stick and you're going to get shitty items and you won't do any damage. With Bandit, it doesn't matter if you don't get any damage-based items because you're always going to do a ton of damage as long as you can position yourself properly. I know it isn't exactly the same, but because I have to like go around the enemy to reach their back, playing Bandit kind of reminds me of that one scene in Star Wars, in Star Wars where Luke trips the AT-AT. I am Luke Skywalker. I have a lightsaber. And by a lightsaber, I mean buckshot. Granted, it's always more fun when you do get more damage items, otherwise some of the beefier enemies really take a lot of back shots before they're finished. Pause. That is also not what I meant. You know what? Why don't you shh? Huh? How about that? Why don't you shut your mouth, huh?
I'm here trying to experience Nirvana, trying to attain enlightenment. And to do that, I need to talk to my buddy about this video game. So how about instead of listening into our conversation, you butt out, sit your ass down on your hot pink yoga mat, and finish the lesson before you pick up your kids from school, okay? Oh yeah, you're gonna walk away now, huh? She got too real for you, and she's grabbing a kettlebell. Time to go. I played a couple of other characters my first day, and even more moving on as I unlocked them, but none of them really clicked the way that Bandit and Commando did for me. Close range characters are cool, but dealing with flying enemies is such a huge pain in the ass without ranged attacks, so I found runs with them more frustrating than they were really worth.
Oh, never being next to a gunfight. It's not gonna work out. Think fast, chuckle nuts.
Man, Yoga Lady had an arm to her, huh? I mean, she threw a 15-pound kettlebell like a shot put. How's your head, by the way? That did look painful. Look, dude, I'm sorry. Let me make it up to you. We can go to the mall, hit up the food court. I'll buy you some lunch, okay? I've got another plan to reach Nirvana, but it's gonna be a couple hours before we can go anyway, so let's just go to the mall. You know what I'm craving right now? Chinese food from a mall food court. Is that an oddly specific craving anybody else gets? Can't wait to get me some chicken that's been sitting under a heat lamp for 4 hours. Delicious. After I had screwed around a bit and kind of figured out how the game works, I gave myself a challenge. I wanted to beat the game on normal difficulty. That's it. That's everything. Listen, not every goal has to be complex and convoluted, okay? It can be a normal thing. Okay, goal's pretty simple, pretty easy, shouldn't take too much effort, right? Wrong. When I decided that this was going to be my end goal, I had conveniently forgotten that I was going to be leaving in 3 days for 3 weeks, which means I had 2 days to get good enough at the game to beat it on normal difficulty. Keep in mind, at this point I hadn't even seen the boss on easy mode, much less beaten it at all. After trying and failing to beat the game on normal a few times, I decided to take some baby steps. First, beat the game on easy.
You know, I know this is supposed to be like easy, medium, and hard, but honestly, the way I'm feeling, this is more like difficult, difficulter, and difficulter.
You remember how I said there were 6 levels in a run? Yeah, at this point, the only reason I knew that was because I looked it up. I can count on one hand the number of times I managed to reach level 6 that day. On easy.
Faster.
I died. Thanks, game. Thank you. I appreciate that. Really, thank you. But I was getting better. Every run felt smoother. I was making fewer mistakes. I was dodging better, killing faster, running pockets more efficiently. We were up like 15% last quarter on robberies alone. Things were going well. So well that I finally saw the final boss, Mithrix.
Oh, another nudist. Okay.
Now, Mithrix has 4 stages. Stage 1, he does his best impromptu Sonic the Hedgehog impression, moving around at the speed of sound and slamming his big-ass hammer at you. Also, he jumps. No, you have to be to make a shockwave when you jump, bro. Put the Big Mac down, grab some celery. Stage 2, he kind of blinks out of existence for a little while and you need to fight a small horde of enemies. Then he comes back. Apparently, he went to Joanne Fabrics to make his Sonic cosplay a little bit better because now he's faster and there is blue everywhere. Lots of fire. Lots of fire. Smokey Bear would be so disappointed in you. After you beat him up a little bit more, he reaches his 4th stage, and I think this is actually a really cool mechanic. He takes all of your items and uses them against you. You had a bunch of attack speed, he's gonna attack faster. You had a bunch of armor and healing, he's gonna take less damage and heal a bit. You had a lot of on-hit items. Pray. Now, as my runs got better, I ended up reaching Mithrix more often than not, but I kept dying in stage 3 to his stupid fire spin attack. Remember this becomes a recurring issue. Fire spins aside, eventually I proved once again that my forehead is thicker than the brick wall I was slamming it against, and beat Mithrix. My heart is beating so hard, dude. I should not feel like this after beating a video game. Now this is where I learned something vitally important. The run doesn't end when you beat the boss. You've got to take a teleporter down to the ground floor, make it to your ship in time, and charge the ship up while defending it from enemies. Once the ship is fully charged, then your run ends. This is another one of those neat little pieces of information you should keep in mind. Oh, thank goodness, man, that took way too long. Beating Mithrix felt so good, it's hard to even describe. It's kind of like experiencing Nirvana, probably. Oh shoot, yeah, no, Nirvana. You know what I was thinking? If I do manage to attain Nirvana, what's the point if, like, I can't let everybody know? I wish there was something that I could, like, something that I could have, like something that I could own that,
Like, people would look at me and think, enlightened. But is there anything that could do that? It's perfect. It's so pretty. Such high quality fabric. And it's got Nirvana right on the front. Dude, this is blowing my mind. Man, if only there was an easy way for other people to get this. There should be like a link that they could use to buy this. Oh yeah, it's just a regular Nirvana sweatshirt. Nobody said that it would help you attain Nirvana, but nobody said it wouldn't either. You know, because of how comfortable and swanky this sweatshirt looks alongside the ease of access because of the link in the description, I would totally wear one if I could, but I can't because I don't have arms or hands. Why is Nirvana a band and also a clothing company? A bunch of dudes just got together and said, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna become one of the most influential rock bands of the 90s, and then you know what we're gonna do? One word. T-shirts. Speaking of Nirvana clothing, this ties in really well with my last plan to reach Nirvana. I was thinking meditation, trying to find yourself, whatever. That's like the long process. This is the modern era. Everything's got to go fast. So how do you experience Nirvana quickly? By going to one of their concerts. The band is literally named Nirvana. How else are you supposed to experience this? And I kind of wanted to apologize for that whole Africa fiasco a little while ago, so I bought you one too. After beating the game on easy, I knew with what I currently had, I was not going to be able to beat it on normal. My biggest issue, besides my skill level, was that I didn't have access to many items. You unlock access to more items as you play along and earn achievements. So I decided to do a couple of achievement focus runs before buckling down and aiming to beat the game again. Some of these achievements are easy, like kill 3,000 enemies. Yeah, it takes a while, but as long as you keep playing, you'll get it eventually. Some achievements are not so easy, like reaching the 3rd stage and clearing it without extra healing. Now how the fuck? So, in order to make some of the more difficult challenges a little bit easier, I decided to use artifacts. What are artifacts, you ask? Well, once you reach the 5th level, you can drop down to this fancy computer terminal, enter your super secret password, and open a portal to a challenge level. Once you beat the challenge, then on your next run, you have access to an artifact. Artifacts apply different modifiers to your run. Some of these artifacts make runs significantly harder, like the one that doubles your fall damage and makes it lethal, or the one that creates a doppelganger of you every 10 minutes that you have to fight, or the one that makes every enemy spawn as an elite. Actually, most of these make your game a lot harder. I need you to stay away from me. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have come here. Some of the artifacts just change gameplay in a way that doesn't necessarily make it more difficult, but doesn't make it easier either, like the artifact of glass, which gives you 500% damage, but 10% of your max health. The artifact that I was using is one of the only ones that makes things easier, called the artifact of command. This changes the game so that when you get an item, you can pick the exact item you want instead of getting something random. This means that you can get only the items that work best with your character and you can become a monster. Playing the game normally is fun because it's difficult, but playing with command on is fun because you can build the most ridiculous setups you can imagine. In fact, let's talk about one of my favorite builds using command, which I have lovingly named US Air Support. First, we're going to take Commando. As I've already mentioned, Commando has a very fast attack speed, but it isn't enough. We're going to pick up some soldier syringes to bump his attack speed up even faster until we get the maximum attack speed of 60 attacks per second. Is this overkill? I feel like it might be overkill. Nah. Now we're going to grab ATGs. These have a 10% chance to fire a missile on hit. Now initially I thought you could grab 10 of them and it would add up to a 100% chance, but the proc chance doesn't actually increase per ATG, it just kind of increases the damage. Still, we need at least one, and if we have more, that's not really a bad thing. Now we need 2 types of legendary items. The first one is the ICBM. This affects the ATG by making it fire 2 extra missiles per ICBM that you have. So let's grab, I don't know, 20. I am an American citizen. I have the right to conduct myself in an organized militia. It just so happens that I don't need anyone else to be an organized militia. Now we grab our last and probably most important item, the 57 leaf clover. This item has the amazing ability of rerolling any random effects for a favorable outcome. So after doing a little math, we can see with the 57 leaf clovers that I had, we have a 99.5% chance of firing a missile with every bullet. That means 60 rockets per bullet and 3,600 rockets per second.
You beg, but I have no mercy left to spare.
Okay. Now I know what you might be thinking. Direwire, why don't you just use the artifact of command to make it super easy to beat the game? Well, that's easy. It's because mom ain't raised no bitch. Ooh, you know, hitting this is gonna make the boss a lot harder, but mom ain't raised no bitch. So, to me, beating the game like that would feel inauthentic. Risk of Rain is a roguelike, so the randomness is a feature, not a bug. As much as I enjoy playing with the artifact of command, I didn't want my first win on normal to be anything more than base game. No artifacts, no mods, nothing. Just me, the ragtag group of items I got my grubby little hands on, and my own skill level.
Man, the genie did not understand what I meant when I said I wanted an extra long third limb.
What do you mean we can't get in? I gave you the tickets. They're fake? There's no way they're fake. The guy behind the gas station said that they would... Oh. Well, there's $400 out the window. Okay, I don't know what else to do other than keep talking about the game at this point, so that's what I'm gonna do. After unlocking a bunch of items, I started going through some normal runs. Unfortunately, I was not doing well, and it was kind of really starting to affect my mental state. No, that's okay. It's just an hour of my life I'm never gonna get back. It almost felt as bad as when you find out you bought fake tickets to a concert that you needed to see to experience true happiness. Almost. The main reason these runs were stomping on my mentality was because I was reaching Mithrix almost every single run, but I would die to him every single run. And it takes around an hour to get to the boss fight from the start, so dying right at the end with the goal in my field of view only to have it taken away and knowing it's going to take at least another hour to get there was not a good feeling.
You know what? I hate you. I hate you. I hate your brother. I hate your mom. I hate your dog. I hate the shoes you wear.
What made it worse was I was dying to the exact same section during the boss fight. Not even the same section, the same ability. In Stage 3, Mithrix has a specific attack where he spins some fire columns around trying to hit you, and this specific move killed me more times than I want to count. Every single time I would mess up just a little bit and get hit once. Now, one hit I could survive. The problem is when you get hit, it knocks you into the air, and when you're in the air, it's really hard to gauge where the columns are, which makes it really easy for him to land a second hit and end the run. It's like we were playing volleyball, except he set himself and spiked it, but the rest were too scared to say anything because he's like an 8-foot tall man made of stone. You know, this allegory is really falling apart, and despite my best efforts, on the final day, I didn't beat him. But the next day, I still had enough time for one last run to try and beat him again. Okay, I've got enough time for like one good run before I head off to the airport, so I am going to play a run, and this Mithrix bitch is going to die. He is going to die. So I hopped into a game and did that forward gamer tilt, ready to put every ounce of experience I'd gained during the hours and hours I had played to finally beat this game. And the run went great. I was kicking ass, every move felt smooth, I was dodging perfectly, setting up backstabs perfectly. More importantly, my items were good. I was doing damage, I didn't have a lot of move speed, but I was killing it. And then I got to the final level and was face to face with Mithrix for what was going to be the last time, no matter what the end result was. You, me, right here, right now, or at the Olive Garden at 7 p.m., your choice. The first 2 rounds went like clockwork, easy peasy. I could do those in my sleep at this point. And as I finished off the last few enemies of round 2, I felt my heart leap into my throat as he landed and phase 3 started. Of course, a few seconds later, as always, he started to spin.
Fuck. That's okay, that's okay, that's okay. I can heal, I can heal, I can heal, I can heal. Okay, I killed him. Okay.
I made it. By the skin of my teeth, I made it. And I got to round 4. For the first time, I was on round 4. I was doing everything in my power to stop my hands from shaking, and after a scant few seconds, I beat him.
Yes!
Oh my goodness. Actually, the final run. That's ridiculous. Okay. This is where I would like to end this story. But you have to remember, the run isn't over when Mithrix dies. This is when I started to get nervous again. While I had good items, I was kind of lacking in move speed. Still, I figured that I could get to the ship in time as long as I was careful. And then I fell.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Now, falling can't outright kill you in this game, unless you have the artifact that allows fall damage to kill you, but I didn't. Normally, when you fall for a little bit, then teleport up to the closest piece of land above you and take some fall damage. It doesn't quite work that way on the final level. You see, the final level has a lot of open space around it. In this situation, if you fall and there's nothing nearby, you can get teleported very, very far away from where you might want to go. Guess what happened to me? I was trying so hard to get closer to the ship while I was falling, but didn't get nearly far enough, and it sent me really far back. So I ran to the ship, started charging it up, and with just 3% left to go, the moon blew up and my final run ended in defeat.
You know, I was gonna say that I am so angry that I'm just gonna hijack the plane and slam it into a cornfield, but that would probably get me put on a list right before I head to the airport. But I also feel like the universe is gonna screw with me and I'm gonna miss somehow and fall for 3 hours and get teleported onto the East Coast.
Dude, this sucks. The last memory I have of this game before going on my trip is seeing the end, feeling the finish line brush against my fingertips, only to have Usain Bolt run past me and slap me on the ass while he takes the win. In fact, this whole ordeal has been nothing but a nightmare. Not only the frustration from the game, but yoga didn't help me find Nirvana, I couldn't watch Nirvana in concert, and I don't have hands! Who cares? I mean, at the end of the day, it's just stupid. All of these problems, all of these issues, they're superficial. Like in 20, 30 years, who's going to give a shit what happened tonight, you know? It's just like, I just need to let it go. What's happening? What's going on? Help! Have I reached Nirvana? Dude, this is amazing. I feel so light. I feel like everything's gonna be... Is that the yoga lady from this morning? Oh, yeah. No, I'm fine. What were we talking about? Despite the decent level of frustration that I had at certain moments while playing this game, I really, really had a good time. Like I said at the beginning, I'd wanted to play this game for years, and finally being able to play it has genuinely just been such a blast. I had so much fun playing that once I got back from my trip, I actually got the DLC for the game. I wanted it because I wanted to try out the new character Railgunner, and I can safely say that she's my favorite. There isn't a single other character that I enjoy playing more. I like her because she can do stuff like this. If watching me play this game made you want to play it, now's actually a pretty good time to grab it. A new DLC came out just a little while ago, so you get to experience a lot of cool new stuff that they just added. Also, that Nirvana clothing thing is real. If you want a sweatshirt, there is a link in the description, so go check that out. Okay, you know the deal. Video's ending now. I don't know how to finish. Thank you for watching. Bye.